We got a friend's E320 W124 here for a dyno, but it's not just any W124 or E320. It's got a spare alternator on it, and yeah, we'll see how much voltage it makes. So he actually put the fender from the 300 diesel models. So he bought a 300D just to take the fender off the car. I like it, nice little sleeper. Spring rush on a Friday. GLE dropped in for service. Same thing with the E53. This one's getting a flex disc changed because it's all cracked and it's going for alignment. This one has our ECC forged wheels in the summer, so we'll put those on in maybe a month or so. Aventador for Aventador things. Things tend to leak on these a lot. RS3 is in for spark plugs. Now onto the actual fast stuff. This one dropped in yesterday for a stage 1 ECU software. First time here. We're going to do a bunch of maintenance on this, so he left it for the week. S-Class turbos are in, engine is in, it's up and running. It will be going on the dyno later on today, so we can fine tune it. And hopefully the customer can pick it up in the next couple of days. The Porsche, this one has obviously already been modified by us. We're refinishing the exhaust tips. It's getting scheduled maintenance. It's getting H&R lowering springs, and most importantly, ECC forged wheels. I think you guys have seen us post about the frozen champagne ones that we have here, or the brushed champagne ones. Maybe today we'll put those on actually, just to get you guys some footage. ECU errors detected.
Was anything flashing red by chance on the right?
I didn't look, I don't think so.
Like there's a green light, and if it's like knocking, it's gonna flash red.
On that little display there?
No, on the right, like by the foot.
Oh, I didn't see. This one is a stage 2 card that we've done. As you can see, it's missing turbos. So those are sent over to Germany at our supplier. They're gonna get upgraded. The car is also gonna get our upgraded in-house high pressure fuel pumps. As for power, we're not gonna be shooting for the moon with this one. Customer is daily driving this in the summer. It's already fighting for its life when it comes to traction. So we'll just leave it around 750 or so at the wheels. Only 750. On this platform, on our shop car 3 years ago, we made 949 at the wheels. Trust me, 949 at the wheels, I've driven it. You tend to look at the side of the road, if you know what I mean, when you're driving it, so it's useless. But we'll make this one usable for the customer. Another cool thing I want to show you guys. One cool thing about these cars is the placement of the engine. That over there, probably a good 2 feet, is where the front of the car is. Where my wide body is the axle, or let's say the wheels, the front wheels, and the engine sits right behind them. So you're essentially getting a front mid engine car. It's definitely very good for handling and how stable the car feels. Not like an Audi where the engine is 3 feet in front of the car. It's also got a beautiful dry carbon Venturi intake system, proper quality stuff, and it actually has good improvements on the dyno. So it doesn't just look pretty, it does look pretty though. While we're on the subject of GTs, we got the turbos out of that GT R. Now we got the turbos out of Slav's GT 63, 4-door, long name. Don't worry, nothing broke on Slav's, it's perfectly fine. We're just gonna go with a different sizing setup. I think Slav is gonna go with a slightly different sizing setup just to get a bit more, slightly quicker spool out of the car, so it's a bit more usable on the street. So those are out. I'm gonna go package them up, send them off to Pack Parts in New York. So we can get this thing wrapped up and back on the dyno. If this amazing weather outside lets us, we'll make it out to the track in the early spring.
I don't know if you know this or not, but this does not add any padding, right? So
No, this is
I'm telling
just
you now. that it doesn't.
This is containing the leftover fluids in the turbo from leaking into the box.
Sure.
And then we'll go start finding time.
They're going to pack parts. Arnold. Arnold's gonna do his magic. Make some new Turbskis.
Shout out to Venturi for great packaging in their boxes. We reuse, recycle, and refresh whatever city give it new life. Well, kids, this is how 1400 horsepower looks like. I loved these when I was a kid, like 03, 04. There was a scene in Bad Boys 2. In Miami, they're chasing and they're getting chased by one of these things. And that's when I was like, okay, AMGs are cool. This one's the long wheelbase version, so if you see one of these, they're not as slow as you might think. We've done some that make well into the 500s, almost 600 wheel horsepower mark with basic bolt-ons and tuning, so don't sleep on them. You're probably wondering why it's a nice, shiny, brand new looking oil pan or transmission oil pan on this S55. Well, it's leaking out of every single hole and gasket. So we need to do this. He's got a few other cars that we've done, but this is one of his other toys. Doesn't drive it as much, so it sits. When things sit, they tend to leak a lot. Can't see it that well, but this has the ABC suspension, active body control. So it's not air suspension, it's actually hydraulic. The pump is leaking and some of the lines are leaking. So when you park the car, it looks like a West Coast lowrider. So we're gonna address that and address this beautiful mess back here. So before we had our fancy twin turbo, upgraded fuel pump, upgraded turbo, 1,000 wheel horsepower M177s and all the new modern motors. Yeah, this big boy, 5.4 liter if I'm not mistaken. This is one of the first mass-produced AMG motors. So before the M156, you had this bad boy. So any 55 batch car, most 55 batch cars had these, the supercharged ones. It's an M113K, for those of you with chassis names and code names and engine code names. M113K for compressor, which is the German word for supercharged. While on the subject of the M113K, we have a customer's E55 wagon, which you never see. This one's in for some maintenance. This one we did obviously bigger intakes and throttle body and the full stage 2 setup on this. We'll put a dynograph as to what they make. But yeah, cool little wagon. Japanese import, I think. So we got my E63, just got the PPF done at Rapmeister's. It had PPF, it was just very old, it was yellowing, it was pre-cut, so whoever did it was probably blind. Now you can't even tell there's PPF on the car, all the badges, everything is brand new. I'm very OCD, so now I can actually enjoy the car. We're gonna do all the fluid maintenance on the car for the spring, which I do yearly. Diffs, transfer case, transmission, oil change. I also got to install my stainless steel brake lines. So let's get the car lifted on the hoist. We'll start off with the basic stuff. A lot of people ask us what a flush and Ceratic is because we tend to offer that when customers come for service. This stuff you put in with the old oil. You let it idle for a good 10 minutes while you set up on the hoist. It gets all the gunk and crud out of the old oil, loosens them up, thins out the oil a little bit, and then you can properly drain it. You're not supposed to leave it in there for too long, so only when you're setting up the car, let this go in there, let it circulate around, drain the oil out completely. Then, once you flush your oil out and you put your desired oil in, which in this case we're going to use a Motul 8100 XS. It's rated for this car. It's a full synthetic 5W40. I've had no issues with it. We keep drums of this stuff in stock. So once you put your oil in, you add the Ceratic from Liquimoli in the oil. This forms another lubricant layer on all the hard friction areas. So cylinder walls, all the little valve tappets, things like that, this will cover it. In case, on those cold starts and cold mornings, this gives you that a little bit extra lube. It's basically lube for your oil. Another cool thing, you guys have seen this in previous videos, we have our ECC 1000 badge. We have them in different outputs depending on what your car makes. My car does make more than 1,000, so I do qualify, Slav, I do qualify for the ECC 1X, but gotta keep it humble for the streets. We'll go with the 1,000. So 850 wheel, 1,000 crank on pump gas, put that in there. So, if you know, you know. If not, it's just a lowered stock E63. If you don't mind, check the connections up front to make sure they're tight as well. Like at least visually touch it.
How the fuck can we get there, bro? There's no way to get there. There's no way. Yeah.
No, just your eyes can get there.
Maybe. We have a coolant leak.
Coolant leak? Don't look. No, it's okay. We don't need coolant leaks. What coolant leak? He's like, I'm not joking. You have a coolant leak. Oh, that was from before when I did it.
Maybe.
He puts the covers it back up in the wire.
See this drawing? See this? Red.
So I need these arms.
Most the issue. Remember the EC3, the same thing issue.
When we're gonna put the summer wheels on, we'll change those and do the alignment one shot. Is that can they be okay for 2 months?
So this guy, because you see it's wet around it, that means that it's throwing grease.
So I need this one and this one.
With this one you have alignment, the yoke on the road.
That's okay. It's camber.
Chewing the alignment.
That just looks at expensive. Don't look at the axle. The axle's fine. Don't look at the
Oh,
axle.
it is leaking.
Oh, come on. We have a boot for it. We have a boot for that one. Listen, shocks are $3,600 each.
Bro, I think your subframe mounting holes are cracked.
No, it's fine. He just needs to stress me for the weekend.
You know what Benny just did? So when you tell things like this to Benny, his butt cheeks just squeak like this.
They clench and I walk and I have to. Well, as you guys saw, there's quite a bit that goes into these services. They're not rocket science, but there's obviously specific procedures and certain tools that you'll need, which all of our guys are obviously trained on. A lot of these services will also, apply to your non-AMG cars. The 9-speed is also used on all the non-AMG cars. Non-AMG cars also have differentials like any other car. We're just using the AMGs as an example because we do a lot of them. Dr. Benny Lava going in. Pretty dirty, but not horrible, but you can see the magnets are pretty slimy already. I mean, they're doing their job. So if you see a mountain of metal there, that's a bad day. But these aren't too bad. But whether it's an AMG or a base model Benz or a BMW or whatever, like drivetrains, I think are one of the most overlooked services. So we urge customers, if you've got a nice sports car, doesn't matter if it's a daily driver or a weekend toy, service it, take care of it. This stuff will pay you in the long run. The amount of times I see people walking here, they don't know anything about a car other than put gas in it and maybe change the oil with the cheapest oil they can find. Then they start crying when things start breaking. Please service your cars. Don't follow the factory intervals because these days are a little bit too long. I would maybe double up on them. Oil changes every 5 or 6K. Drivetrain services, 25, 30K. If you've got a sports car that you're driving a little bit more enthusiastically, maybe do it at 20K. Other than that, yeah, be on top of your maintenance. Give us a call. We do a lot of AMGs and all the European brands as well, so we can definitely get you booked in. We have all the factory tools and all of our techs are trained to use all of them. So give us a call. We'll get you booked in. We'll get you set up right. Make sure you service your cars. But after that, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. If there's anything else you want to see, let us know. We'll get those out to you.